outstanding World Series is going on right now. MLB World Series is going on. Um, we're going to talk about the Orioles manager in a second here, but Dodgers and the Blue Jays 2-2. I'm going to check the score right now. So the Blue Jays are up right now as I'm looking at it 2-0. I'm sure some of you are watching the game, or hopefully you can get the Ravori Sports podcast on the split screen there. I'm definitely going to be checking it out. Somebody needs to tell the Blue Jays that they're not supposed to be here because they didn't get the message. They are really, really, really an outstanding hitting offense. Fantastic. They are getting it from everywhere. Um, the Dodgers is obvious. Shohei Ohtani is clearly putting on his case for best player of all time. So he has been fantastic. Freddie Freeman the other night in an 18-run game, 18-inning game where Freddie Freeman really uh, got it for him. He's been really good the last couple postseasons as well. And it's not as noticed, but he's really been good. That's pretty much both been the thing. Just Shohei and Freeman on offense for the Dodgers as well. The Blue Jays, they're getting it from everybody. Kirk, Vladdy, Guerrero, uh, George Springer before he got hurt in that fashion. They are getting bat and ball from everywhere. So the Blue Jays aren't here just to lay down. So they have really, really made this an entertaining series by going ahead and having a competitive battle with a really good team, the Dodgers as well. So that's the three now, tied with two, and we'll see. We will see how the rest of this goes as well. I like the Blue Jays in this series. Blue Jays look to me like the better team. The Blue Jays, I can say you get in that Dodger bullpen, and that's a problem. Like the Dodgers, once you actually get into that bullpen, that's not good for them as well. Now they haven't needed it. There we go. So they haven't needed it. Um, they haven't needed it obviously, but they haven't needed because they've had good starting. The Dodgers have good starting. Yamamoto and stuff has been really good. But 2-0 here tonight. Let's see who becomes our next champion of the MLB as well. And we got obvious news. We're going to go over the team needs, what the Orioles need. So the Orioles have a new manager as well. Hopefully, like the last few managers have been killing me. Tony Manzolino, it took me a while to stay there, and I have to learn Craig Albernaz. I think that's how you say it. He was a coach for years in Cleveland, so in the Cleveland system as well. And so now he is going to head and taking the head job. Mike Elias has hired him as now the next manager of the Baltimore Orioles. So he has been busy bringing in Brandon Hyde at the end of last year was fired as well. Tony Manzolino go ahead and took him. This was a name that was out there. This wasn't an obvious name. And also with this hire, I'm noticing the trend. For a while there, baseball was hiring a lot of vet managers, a lot of gray beards, as it were, the guys who had been around for a while. Now, what I see is they're hiring some young guys. So now you see Skip Schumacher going to Texas, 45 years old. You see the Orioles hiring a guy that's 42. The Giants hiring a guy who's a college manager that's unprecedented. Usually you don't see a guy who coached at the University of Tennessee. So you're seeing this now. You're seeing like a young manager here. He's going to bring in his own staff. You've seen that. A lot of people were thinking like, okay, he's going to, no. He's bringing in his own staff. It looks like a lot of these guys have already looking for, there's a lot of them looking for the job anyway, I'm sure. But you might see Some stay, but it looks like he's gonna be given the autonomy so far to bring in who he wants to go ahead and do that. And I'm sure fixing some of these team needs we're going to be talking about on the team is going to be a high priority for him as well. This is now Michael Elias's stamp on it here. This is your shot. He's going to be this. It's always different when you bring in now when a general manager, of baseball or president of baseball operations, brings in the manager now. So now this is your guy. This is no more excuse. Okay, you can't say, well, this is no. Both of y'all are going to go down with the ship this time around if it doesn't go well. So interesting to see Albernaz in now as the Orioles manager. All right. One more segment here. So we went over some things with the Orioles free agency. We're going to go over that next week, like free agent targets. Who are the Orioles possibly looking at bringing in free agency? We went over the free agents that they have on their team, guys who might be leaving, guys who may need to resign. So now we're going to look at what the needs are. Okay, so what do the Orioles need to do to go ahead and do that in 2026? So we'll go ahead and check that out here as well. So before we tell you what they need, let's tell you what they don't need, right? So you always look at that first. Before you look out and say what you need to buy, you need to look at what your wallet in. So this is what's in the wallet right now. So you don't need catcher. You got Adley Rutschman on your team. You got an extension for Sam Basayo. You don't need to spend any money on catcher. So I doubt that seriously that the Orioles are out here looking for at least a starting catcher. I can't imagine that as well. Second base, Jackson Holliday is going to be here for years to come. He's going to be your leadoff man for sure at the beginning of next year. So I don't think there's anything there. Same at short, Gunnar Henderson. I think they like to see a little bit more from him than they saw this year. They'd like to see another, I would at least too, a 30 home run and 100 RBI. Gunnar Henderson on your team. They didn't really have that this year. So I think that's a thing as well. And I don't think third base should do anything either. You got Kobe Mayo on your team. I think he's probably going to play first. And you got Westberg. I'd be very surprised if they went out. Bregman, I think in the free agency, I think anybody's going to look at Alex Bregman, but I doubt seriously they're looking at third base as well. Okay, so that's what you don't want. Now, what do you need if you're the Orioles? So middle relief pitching, I think is look, you gutted the whole bullpen with all these trades at the deadline. So I think this is an obvious one. So what's here? Yadier Cano, Keegan Aiken, Cade Stroud, Colin Shelby, Rico Garcia, Albert Suarez, Dietrich Enns. Heavily right-handed. That's the first thing you notice as well. Cano just struggled last year. He was sent down even to AAA. I think had it not been for so many trades, that kind of, I think, cemented his spot because by the time they got to the end of the season, he's one of the few guys that was still around. Keegan Aiken, I think, probably he is the one that would stay. He might have the most value in a move, but I think that's the one I think would stay. I think he's the guy you look at and say, all right, we know that. Cade Stroud was the biggest surprise. I think he's going to be given every opportunity as well, but certainly there's something they're going to be looking at. Colin Shelby, Rico Garcia, Albert Suarez, Dietrich Enns had some levels of success, but I don't think there's a lot of need there. I think they're definitely going to be going out on a free agent market and looking for guys. I think definitely some of the young guys in Norfolk disappointed guys. So I don't think there's a solid spot for any of these guys, I think, in 2026, other than I think Keegan Aiken. I'd be surprised if anything happened there. Second string catcher. So we talked about the Adleys here and Basayo's here. What happens for second string catcher? Gary Sanchez I'd be shocked if he stayed. Gary Gary Sanchez actually isn't that one of it. He just has trouble staying healthy. I think that's the problem. Maverick Henry, a lot of you guys like Maverick Henry because he's tough defensively. Um, it's tough as I don't know what. I was saying the injury he had. He wanted to stay in the game with a concussion as well. And I think Alex Jackson was a very pleasant surprise. I think like that was the guy who really they kind of picked him up off the street because all the catchers kept getting hurt, and Jackson kind of stayed around because he kept playing well. I thought he hit very well. He had a lot of doubles. I thought he's solid behind the plate. Um, I don't have a problem with him bringing him like if he's going to be the second catcher. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I certainly if they say, hey man, we're going to get rid of Adley Rutschman, which I think is very possible, and they keep Alex Jackson, I'm fine with that. Matthew Hanley, I think, is more of a defensive guy, but I don't like him. I mean, he hit 100. That just, I don't. I know some of y'all like Maverick, but I'm sorry. For me, you gotta hit at least 100. You can't be hitting 080 as well. But Jackson, I thought was very impressive as well. Possible that they signed a free agent, I think, as well. That seems to be the route that he likes to go. Utility infield, I think, is a thing. Luis Vasquez, Ryan Mountcastle, Jorge Mateo. I don't think they haven't made a decision on Mateo yet. I don't think they bring him back for $5.5 million. He's for sure just a part-time player, utility player at this point. I can't imagine that at 30 years old that they think he's going to develop. And so they may just decline it because they do have the option to bring him in. So we'll see. Ryan is here in the utility category. He doesn't start for the Orioles in 2026. I think Ryan is going to be a backup if he stays. I don't know if he stays, but I do think it is possible that they could leave him in as a backup as well. I do think Kobe Mayo is going to get every opportunity to start at first base. I think I don't see that as a thing where they keep. I think they're going to give Kobe Mayo a shot. Vasquez, I think, is a body. I think he's definitely going to be around in spring training. Give her every chance. I think it's definitely possible here that a vet's coming of some kind of Adam Frazier type signing or something like that, so they can get some insurance, some help in the infield as well. Now that Ramon Urias is gone, closer is definitely 911. Keegan Aiken finished the season as a closer. He's not really a closer. It's a middle relief. I think they could do that in the short term as well. Felix Bautista, you're not going to have at all next season or most of the season, at the very least. So you're definitely, I think, signing a closer in free agency. I don't think there's any choice here. You tried to get Hoffman last year. They didn't like the medicals, whatever, and Hoffman's in the World Series for us. Blue Jays. Crazy. But you didn't like Hoffman and etc. They need a closer. They need a closer right now. If you want to have success next year, they got to go in this free agent market and look at these closers. We'll definitely talk about that next week. So I think that's 3. 2, center field, what happens? I'm really not sure. For some reason, people seem to not like Colton in center. I don't know why. I think he's pretty good in center. He's not as good as Cedric Mullins was. I think that's obvious. He's just not good. He's not as good as Cedric Mullins. But I think he's pretty good. I got no problem with him playing center. I don't think they're going to leave him center. I'd be surprised. I think like you're definitely going to look at Dylan Beavers out there, who also I think is they view as more of a corner outfielder as well. The guy at the bottom, I think, is the guy they want to give it to. Enrique Bradfield is in AAA this season. I'm pretty sure he's going to start at AAA, but he's been very good in Arizona this year, fall league. I think they want to see a bit more of him in AAA before they just put him in center. But I do think this is the guy they have in mind long term, as far as at least defensively in center field as well. I think Hauser would be fine, but I don't know if he's a center field. But it'll be interesting to see how this goes. I don't think they view him in that same light. But number 1 is starting pitching as well. You never have enough starting pitching, in my opinion. I don't think you definitely need a big time starter though. for sure. But I don't know if you're as needy. I think by the end of the year, as well. Trevor Rogers was really good. Bradish is back, although he was good when he was in there, but he hasn't really pitched much. Zach Eflin is probably gone in free agency. Dean Kramer kind of is what he is like a third, fourth starter. Now the questions, because Grayson Rodriguez has never pitched a full season as a major leaguer. We will see about Grayson. I interested to see what Orioles view him. I don't think they have him past the fifth starter, if that. They could be done with him, as a matter of fact. I don't know that, but I definitely don't think they're saying, okay, we got Rogers, we got Bradish, we got Kramer, and we got Grayson, so we don't need. I don't see that at all. Cade Povich, I think fringe. I don't think he's a very good starter. I think he's a fringe starter. I think he's like a tweener as well. Sagano, I don't think he returns either. I think it's possible as well. So you may need two starters as well in the offseason again, because clearly, and this is definitely true, with all due respect to Braxton Bragg and Michael Forrest and those guys, I don't think there's anybody that's right now ready at major league level. I don't think you have that. I think most of your really good prospects need another season in the minors. There you go. Team needs. So I actually got through that better than I thought today. I thought I would need more time and everything to get it squared away, but we got through it. So go watch the World Series. We're going to check that out. Caleb Williams and the Bears this weekend. Last weekend, rather, against the Ravens. This Thursday night, we're going to be on after the game, driving to the Top Productions and Ravens Sports. We're going to be live on there after the Ravens and the Dolphins. Definitely check that out. Might go, I don't know yet, but after the Terps game. Certainly, if we win, like you'll see it. But we'll see how we'll see how the Terps game goes. We might do a react to that. Real quick, I was remiss. 82-81, Maryland over UMBC Retrievers. Don't fret too much about that. Add to the stage. So I'm gonna get that Dodger graphic up because I forgot it right there. But 82-81, Terps over UMBC as well. Some of the Terps didn't play. A lot of the freshmen played. Don't be too hyperbolic with that. Definitely on Monday, they start for real in Baltimore against the Copper State Eagles, 82-81 as well. Darius Adams looked good. That's the thing you can take away from the UMBC game. Exhibition, it doesn't count. They started for real here as well. Definitely check out that video, Maryland basketball preview. Thank you, guys. So the audience grew as we watched it, and we thank you very much for joining us here. Definitely, we'll see you tomorrow after the Ravens and the Dolphins game. You guys have a great day.